You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? What's good with the people, man? How's y'all doing on this Fraudulent Frequency Friday? You say Fraudulent Frequency Friday? What you talking about, bro? We gonna get into it, but before we do that, what's good people like hee ha ha, Ken in the pen, all my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing, keep that head up, you know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Swing that finger, you know, man. Worldwide INC, worldwide incorporated, worldwide. They say what that mean, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Mean everybody, bro. And Dugu, Mike, Lil Rude, not Lil Rude, Lil Rude. You know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next. Same thing, bro. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep the head up. Keep pushing. We gonna get to it to get to it, man. Let's get through these disclaimers. Now, good brother like myself, man, I don't promote no drug users. I don't promote no alcohol consumption. Good brother like myself, man, I don't promote no alcohol consumption. Don't take a sip of the sip. Just don't do it. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, man. I don't promote no crime. I don't promote no violence. I don't promote no domestic violence. Keep your hands off the people. People, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no negativity. No, man. Me, man, I don't. You know what I'm talking about? Say what wrong. You know what I'm talking about? All I promote is y'all. Go ahead, do what you're going to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how much of it we got, man. But a good brother like myself, man, I'm not prejudiced, no, man. Good brother like myself, man, I ain't got nothing against the sexually different, man, no, man. Good brother like myself, man, I ain't got nothing against the little people, no, man. Me, man, I ain't got nothing against nobody. You know what I'm talking about? I love everybody. You know what I'm talking about? I'm on a quest, you know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. That joy, you know what I'm talking about? That lead. What you say, bring that lead. Back to your YouTube community. You with me? I check it out. Come mess with a brother one time, man. You know what I'm talking about? Mama say, brush them whiskers when you on TV, man. And Coffee Chronicles, classic roast, piping hot. You know what I'm talking about? Man, what's good with the people? I say, bro, what you? Oh shit, I gotta put some water on it. Hold on. You know what I'm talking about? What's good with the people, man? You know what I'm talking about? Classic roast, piping hot. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to everybody who ain't good at saving money, but good at saving that business. How much you want? Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see it, man. You say fraudulent frequency. What you talking about, bro? Just that right there. You know what I'm talking about? How just us as people, bro. We, you know how y'all like to talk about the energies and the frequencies and we talk all that shit, bro, but what we don't say is that this whole world is on a fraudulent ass frequency. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we all backwards, bro. Just a fraudulent frequency. That's why you gonna have these motherfuckers sit up here one day trying to tell you about God. Now I'm just gonna let me ask you something, y'all. If you think people believed in God, do you think the world would be the way that it is, folks? On some real shit. If you really believed all that shit you was running around trying to tell people out that Bible, do you think the world would be this way? You know what I'm talking about? Do you think the frequency of the world would be where people don't do nothing but put you down in your business, talking about you, judging you, talking about what you should do, what you shouldn't do? You know what I'm talking about? No, bro, fraudulent frequency Friday. Y'all don't believe in that shit, bro. I told y'all believe in that shit when it benefits your argument. You know what I'm talking about? Then we start talking about God, but we don't be listening to that shit ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? On everything. Fraudulent frequency. See the way they made this world now? They done made this world so, like you could kick somebody in their ass. And after you get through kicking them in their ass, somehow they supposed to stand up and hug you and tell you it's all right. You know what I'm talking about? Somehow you could kick somebody in their ass. This is the way the frequency of the world is. Then somehow the person that you kicked in your ass supposed to come apologize to you for making you mad enough to kick them in the ass. Some straight out of comic book we is, bro. Fraudulent frequency. You know what I'm talking about? And there's people we be running around here doing that shit. That's why we act like big ass babies. That's why you only see us happy when we get our way. Then if we don't get our way, we gonna put a guilt trip on you some kind of way. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna act like we mad. We gonna act like you not doing enough. We gonna make it seem like you when it's us. You get what I'm saying? Fraudulent frequency. And this is the way we get to play. Because if you ask us, we get the, if you just ask the normal people, they gonna go to God when God benefits them. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't gonna go to God when they over there judging people and just doing people all kind of wrong way. They ain't gonna mention God then. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't gonna mention when that it said don't do that in the Bible then. You know what I'm talking about? They gonna go on and get theirs out the way. It ain't gonna be God, vengeance is God, or none of that shit right there. You know what I'm talking about? No, you gonna go on and get yours out the way. Then you gonna say some shit like, you know what I'm talking about, God could punish me later or some shit like that because we don't believe in God, bro, because we never seen it. That's why we feel confident about doing that shit. That's why we feel confident about coming up here trying to fuck people over and just treating people like shit. That's why we feel confident in that. Because we ain't never seen nobody personally get punished by God. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you. I keep telling you, bro, if we just seen one person in real life get struck by lightning the moment that they sin, it wouldn't even be no more crime. Yeah, that word is spread fast as a motherfucker, bro. But since that ain't what happened, we gonna keep on getting away with it is what we do. Then we gonna say only God could judge us. You know what I'm talking about? We really don't be believing God. We don't. That's why we are the way we are. Fraudulent frequency. That's why we try to be politically correct, talk some sense into you while we treat people like shit. We don't apply our own logic to us. We just see what we don't like. We see what we upset at. Fraudulent frequency. I told y'all, bro, if everybody just treated everybody the way they wanted to be treated, this world would be perfect. But the problem is, you know what I'm talking about? I want to be able to kick you in your ass, and then you get up and hug me and tell me it's going to be all right. And I shouldn't have made you mad enough for you to kick me in my ass. That's what we want. We want shit to be our way all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Fraudulent frequency. That's why you get so much of this bullshit. You know, I ain't bullshitting with you. The whole world on a fraudulent frequency. I ain't bullshitting with you. That's why the people the way they is. That's why the shit just the way they is. That's why everybody see what you do without correcting themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody see what you do, but they don't even see themselves when they doing the same shit that they complaining about you doing. You know what I'm talking about? Fraudulent frequency Friday. And just us as people, we don't give a fuck about nothing but what we want. That's all we give a fuck about. We give a fuck about your conduct, not ours. That's why we always trying to point out what you doing instead of trying to correct what we be doing. You know what I'm talking about? On some real shit. That's why when you see these people up here, that's why we get mad. That's why we like people and we don't like people. Notice we like the people that we can agree with. You know what I'm talking about? But if you out here gossiping or something and the nigga sitting up here talking about, bro, grown men shouldn't be, we acting like kids and shit. They gonna tell you you don't know what you talking about because you've identified something they be doing even though you don't know who they is. You know what I'm talking about? Because it ain't even about no right or wrong. This is how we even got the fraudulent frequency. It's about how many people you can get to agree with you now. You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna make you right, whether you wrong or right. Fraudulent frequency. But we just gonna call out everybody else. Notice how we do that. You know what I'm talking about? I was listening to some motherfuckers talk yesterday, and we professionals. If we don't like you, we gonna paint you in a bad light. But if we like you, you gonna be the partner. Y'all might have seen that shit too. They was talking about somebody, and then another nigga was trying to, yeah, man, that's why we. And he was finna say something. The other nigga just spent it off. He was like, yeah, that's my partner though. And he just left it at that. Then he got to talking about the other shit he was talking about. And that's just fraudulent frequency. That's what we do in the world. See, we'll be talking about somebody else, and then our partner could have did the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? And we just gonna say that's our partner though, and we gonna change the conversation even though our partner did the same thing that we trying to talk about this other nigga about, but we just gonna, because that's our partner, we ain't gonna talk about him. We gonna try to make it just seem like this other nigga, even though they both did the same thing. Because when it's our partner, It's different. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't gonna paint our partner in the bad light. We just gonna paint the motherfucker that we trying to paint in the bad light. Even though our partner did the same shit, we gonna sweep that up under the rug and say that's the folks though. Coffee Chronicles. Fraudulent frequency. And I've been telling you this forever, man. They gonna say, bro, you always listen, bro. I'm already grown. 48 years old. I got my real people understanding. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna dumb yourself down. I understand. You know what I'm talking about? So you can try to put that shit on me all you want. I understand. You know what I'm talking about? It's you that's gonna stunt your own growth. Keep trying to rig the game up to where you don't got to be responsible. Where you can minimize everything you do, bro, you gonna run yourself right into one of these situations out here on earth where you can't play that game no more. Yeah, you gonna fuck around, get up in one of them courtrooms. You gonna fuck around and get up in one of these, this shit that be going on right there, and you ain't gonna be able to use your urban bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Where they handle business at. You ain't gonna be able to minimize shit in the courtroom and all that, bro. The judge don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You only can play your games around the people that you play your games around. When you get to real world, bro, they don't want to hear that shit. They not gonna care. So you keep setting yourself up. You keep dumbing yourself down. You know what I'm talking about? You keep running around out here trying to make the game, trying to make Earth revolve around you and see where it stops. It's going to be like playing musical chairs. See if you got somewhere to sit when it stops. Fraudulent frequency. You know what I'm talking about? And we just own one as Earth. It's a fraudulent frequency. Y'all done made the game to where you can't even pass game down. You get what I'm saying? You can tell a little nephew, hey, little nephew, you might not be wanting to do that, man. You know what I'm talking about? I remember I seen, I was trying to talk to a little nephew because he was trying to, you know what I'm talking about? He had his little bitch with him or whatever, man. And, you know what I'm talking about? Nephew was checking the bitch or whatever and doing all that. I had to pull nephew to the side and say, bro, listen, folks, now I ain't got nothing wrong with you checking. You know what I'm talking about? You do that shit when it's you and your bitch, though, bro. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, a bitch might do something where it calls for checking in front of everybody. You know what I'm talking about? But for the most part, bro, you don't check your bitch in front of everybody trying to show off, bro. You know what I'm talking about? You make yourself weak in front of all these niggas. They say, bro, how you make yourself? Because all these niggas just watching you. And one of these niggas gonna double back down. I don't even know why you had your bitch around all these niggas to keep it real. You know what I'm talking about? One of these niggas gonna double back down on you. And starts, you know what I'm talking about, man, you don't gotta take that. You know how they play the game now, bro. You know what I'm talking about? You don't give another nigga ammunition about your business. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you think you could tell one of these niggas that? Please, bro. They gonna tell you hating. Then the next thing you want to know, you want to talk about one of these niggas that broke the bro code because they done got at your little dame behind your back and shit based on the way you was treating the bitch in front of everybody. You know what I'm talking about? You just opened the door yourself, but we don't get that because we be thinking we looking cool. So when somebody come tell us something that might have been through the shit before, we gonna tell them they hating, they don't know what's going on and all this shit. You can't even pass game down no more, bruh, because the nigga just gonna argue. Nobody ever listens anymore. We all act like the kids who was rebelling against our parents, bruh. We don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. You. And then we gonna go find one of these nerds that ain't even live life just because they got a bunch of views or subscriptions or something, then we gonna start acting like they got real game. Just so we don't have to listen to you. Fraudulent frequency. And I told y'all, bro, if y'all knew the real people who y'all be jocking, they wouldn't fuck with you either. Y'all would be talking about them if y'all knew them for real. That's why we go find invisible people that we don't know for real and gotta act like we friends with them and shit. But if they knew us for real, they'll be telling us about ourselves. Because notice, us as people, we don't like being nowhere when we gotta be told about ourselves. And that's what's missing, fraudulent frequency. That's how we got on the fraudulent frequency. Because you can say, hey, nephew, you know what I'm talking about? Hit your mouth right here, you got something on your mustache. A nigga gonna rebuttal, bruh. A nigga ain't gonna even just wipe the shit off his mustache, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? You can't even pull a nigga coat no more, bruh. A nigga gonna just throw out a rebuttal to you. Oh, nigga, you know what I'm talking about? Nigga ain't gonna even listen to nothing you just said, folks. You know what I'm talking about? You the nigga that's finna go to prom with cheese all on your mustache and shit. You trying to argue with a nigga, you know what I'm talking about? You too clean if you done had cheese on your mustache. You don't want to hear that though. You done made in your mind just like the bitch, a nigga hating on you. Something straight out of the comic book, fraudulent frequency. And all that shit is, bruh, it's just you fighting accountability. Y'all don't be fighting demons, bruh. You just be fighting accountability, bruh. That's all you be fighting. You don't be fighting no motherfucking demons. You ain't even got no demons, nigga. Ain't nothing wrong with you, nigga. You fighting accountability, folks. That's it. You don't want to be held responsible for the bullshit you do. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? And notice the childish motherfuckers, the most childishest motherfuckers do the most shit that they don't want to be accountable for. You don't never see a childish motherfucker not do nothing, bruh. And then, like, you know what I'm talking about? You always see a childish motherfucker do a bunch of childish ass shit with their actions. Then they sit here and try to explain the shit that they just did. They try to give you a reason for all this childish tantrum they just threw. Something straight out of comic book, bruh. Fraudulent frequency. And that's why the world is the way it is, bruh. We don't believe in God. We not listening to none of that shit. We believe in what we want to do. You niggas believe more in Kai Sinat, Whack 100, Adrian Ross than y'all believe in that Bible, folks. I ain't bullshitting with you. You'll go against what it say don't do in that Bible, nigga, because the YouTube people say it was cool. You'll go against the Bible for the social media guidelines. God said don't judge nobody, but TikTok said you a trend if you judge somebody, man. Well, man, listen, bro, nigga went viral on TikTok, didn't he? You gonna start saying shit like, man, fuck what the Bible say, man. God, only God can judge me. God understand, ain't nobody perfect and all that shit. See, when you want to do your fuck shit, that's the rationalizations you give yourself. Ain't nobody perfect, man. You know what I'm talking about? You'll tell the shit we'll tell ourselves, folks. Fraudulent frequency. I ain't bullshitting with you, bruh. And we've been practicing that shit for a while. We actually been practicing that shit since little kids. Cause we really be out here, bro. We don't even be wanting nothing for ourselves, folks. I ain't bullshitting with you. We be just trying to prove you wrong. Cause we live life now to prove a point. Most of the time it's to you. We ain't proved a point to ourselves. Most of the time we trying to prove you that you was wrong for whatever reason. Fraudulent frequency. And like, it's cool if you know better. Yeah, it's cool if you know better. But one of them problems we got in this world is we don't know nothing. But we appear to know everything, don't we? Yeah, in the information age where you could just Google shit, we know everything, don't we? You know so much, you stupid. You know what I'm talking about? You know so much, you dumb. That's how much you know. You know so motherfucking much, you dumb. You got so much information up there and it made you dumb. You know what I'm talking about? We don't make no sense, bruh. And the longer and longer we get into this shit, we just look more and more like big ass kids. You know what I'm talking about? And if you just look at I don't know if that's the right word, the complexity of the, you know, our breads with this vocabulary, the world, the way the world is, we don't never have no problem until we get upset. You know what I'm talking about? When we not upset, we get along with everybody. We the best of friends. We ain't got nothing but good words to say about you and shit. It ain't until we upset that we turn into us, I guess. As long as we not upset, everything is cool. But the moment you do something that we don't want you to do, oh, that's when hell finna break loose. That's when I'm finna act up when I get upset. Like a kid, bruh. Fraudulent frequency. Because just me using my common sense, it's way too many people out here talking about the Bible and God and shit for the world to be like this. There's too many people out here acting like they believe in God and shit, and they walk by the word of the Bible and all that shit, the word of the big man. You know what I'm talking about? It's too many people out here saying that shit for the world to be like this. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody lying. This is what I'll tell you. Somebody lying, nigga. Ain't no way in the world we believe the Bible and we don't do nothing. We make our money off gossiping and putting one another down. There's no way in the world. You know what I'm talking about, man? I'm going to use my common sense on this one. It's impossible for y'all to believe that shit in the world the way it is. I'll wait. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just our problem. We think we could talk you into us being righteousness. You know what I'm talking about? No, your righteousness got to come from the action, bro. Your righteousness got to come from inside you. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know righteous people don't get spiteful when they get mad? They still be righteous. Just be upset a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? That's what a righteous motherfucker does. A righteous motherfucker doesn't get upset with you, then try to destroy everything that you didn't try to build or try to destroy your confidence. Or a righteous motherfucker doesn't do that. You know what I'm talking about? A righteous motherfucker just righteous. Like Gandhi and them, Jesus. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't see Jesus and Gandhi and them trying to get back at people and shit. You know what I'm talking about? When they did them a foul, bro. You know what I'm talking about? They just took that shit and steadily walked the righteous path. You know what I'm talking about? They just did that shit and steadily walked the righteous path, brother. Yeah, I ain't bullshitting with you. Worldwide. Fraudulent frequency. You know what I'm talking about? And it's going to be dependent on you what frequency you on. Because just like I said, we living in the days where we point out everybody else without describing what we is. We like to tell everybody what you said to us without mentioning what we said to you. Then we try to say what you said is the reason why what we said. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't never you said something because we said all this shit to you. It's just we always got ourselves in the winner circle. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't never our fault, even though we said it. We something straight out of comic book, bro. Fraudulent frequency. We don't do nothing but double talk, play a bunch of manipulative games. Just, bro, you ain't doing nothing but dumbing yourself down, though. Coffee Chronicles. Because the world don't give a fuck about that shit, bro. The world, the real world. See, I told you, you could get away with that at your baby daddy house, grandma house, mama house, daddy and them house, grandpa house, your friends and shit. The world don't care about that shit, bro. You can't slick talk your way through the world, bro. You can't slick your way through the world, bro. So the shit that you get away with in these little environments you hang around with, bro, please, bro. They not going to let you take that shit to trial. They not going to let you take that shit to Cox Cable. They not going to let you take that shit to the daycare. You know what I'm talking about? Anywhere people got to handle business at, and they not going to let you take that shit there. They don't give a fuck if you met. They don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I'm talking about? They don't. Fraudulent frequency. And that's what we is. We tough with each other. Fraudulent frequency. We gonna bow down to everything, bro. We ain't coming together for nothing but a crate challenge. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't coming together for nothing, bro. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't coming together for nothing. Maybe where they got some good dope at. You know what I'm talking about? We'll stand in line for some shit like that. We'll all come together for some shit like that, bro. But, man, we ain't coming together for nothing else. Fraudulent frequency. We just gonna be against each other, bro, because we really scared. Really scared and trying to hide that we scared. That's why we picking on each other. We really scared of them other people. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we scared of them other people. We just not scared of each other. Y'all some straight out comic book, bro. I ain't bullshitting with you. That's why we don't do nothing but sit around and destroy each other. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? I believe in the Bible, but I'm sitting up here. We don't do nothing but destroy you. We don't nobody know what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? But we gonna come up with no Diddy. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna make fun of R. Kelly and them. We gonna make fun of Bill Cosby and them. You know what I'm talking about? We something straight out of the comic book, folks. It's a shame when you hate yourself. It is. It's a shame when you doubt yourself. It's a shame when you look in the mirror and you ain't proud of that shit that's staring back at you, bro. You know what I'm talking about? That's a shame, folks. A lot of us need to dig deeper into ourselves and really see what the problem is. You don't need no therapist. You know what I'm talking about? You just need to stop fighting your accountability. That's why your head hurt. You know what I'm talking about? Your accountability over there whooping your ass, nigga. You ain't got no headache. That motherfucker just hit you with a left cross. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got no headache. Your accountability over there dope fiending your ass, nigga. That's all that is. That's why we be walking around this motherfucker feeling guilty in the way we do it, all that shit up inside of us, because we don't feel good about the shit we do. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't nothing gives you a guilty conscience more than doing shit that you're not proud of. Because you're going to second guess yourself. You can play whatever motherfucking game to the world you want to play, but you're going to second guess yourself. Once again, that's why you always think somebody talking about you when motherfuckers don't even know you. Because they speaking on a bunch of that shit you did that you're not proud of. That's why you get defensive. You know what I'm talking about? Because you feel like they talking about you. You know what I'm talking about? Something straight out of the comic book we is, man. Fraudulent frequency. And we ain't gonna get back to no, you know what I'm talking about? We ain't gonna get back to no real player signal, you know what I'm talking about, until we get off the fraudulent frequency. But you're gonna have to love yourself to get off that frequency. You know what I'm talking about? Because when you love yourself, you're gonna pay attention to loving yourself. You ain't gonna have so much energy to hate other people. You know what I'm talking about? Because you're gonna be over there just loving yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew says, oh man, oh lady. Nephew says, oh man, oh lady. Yeah, I ain't bullshitting with you, right? Yeah, I ain't bullshitting with you. Fraudulent frequency, though. You know what I'm talking about? How is we ever gonna get anywhere if it ain't your fault? How is you ever gonna get anywhere if it ain't your fault? If it ain't never your fault, you should have $1 billion because you know everything. You will never be able to become a better person if you don't see where is your fault at. Never. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have to see where is your fault to move on. Because the reason you ain't rich right now is your fault. You know what I'm talking about? We don't never trip off that. The reason you broke right now is your fault. We don't never trip off that, bro. We don't. Because we spend so much time blaming everybody else for what we ain't got, what we done been through. You know what I'm talking about? Because we don't want nothing but sympathy and somebody to agree with us. I told you, we want to be baby and we want you to agree with us. That's all we want. We want to be right and we want you to baby us. Fraudulent frequency. And when you don't do them two things right there, that's what gets us hot. You get up under our skin real hot. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't bullshitting with you. Don't agree with me. Don't see this shit the way I see. Don't take my side. I'm going to turn back into a Flintstone kid on you. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I ain't bullshitting with you. Fraudulent frequency. But once again, you ain't got to listen to me, right? But you ain't doing nothing but dumbing yourself down, bro. That's all you doing. You know what I'm talking about? You finna set yourself up for the world to eat your ass alive. Is what you finna do. Because don't nobody else give a fuck about you, folks. And that's what we don't understand. We think we so important that the whole world gonna make an adjustment to the way we is and what we want. Don't nobody give a fuck about you, bro. And you keep being the way you is, you ain't gonna learn until you find out. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you gonna do. You ain't gonna learn until you find out. You ain't gonna learn until you somewhere crying and motherfuckers laughing at you and don't give a fuck about your sorrow. You know what I'm talking about? That's when you're going to start thinking about all the people that used to care about you. You know what I'm talking about? That's when they going to play a trick in your mind again. That's when they going to pop back up on you again. You know what I'm talking about? When everybody else treating you fucked up, you're going to start thinking about everybody who didn't treat you fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? And how you shouldn't have treated them fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? Well, what do I know? Only you can prevent forest fires, man, with them right there. If you don't remember nothing else, always remember it don't cost nothing. Just to show a little bit of that love.